Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Samaved Bhaktivedanta ki Jai Grantraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tatho Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, Text number 3. Canto 8, Chapter 8, Text number 3. Chapter 8 is called as the churning of the milk ocean. And this chapter was very nicely inaugurated by Vrajraj Prabhu yesterday, I believe, right? Yeah. First verse he spoke on. First and second, is it? Yeah, first and second. So today we'll focus on the third verse of this chapter. The third verse goes as follows. Tata uchchay shravanama Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin balim spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Mataji. Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata uchchay shravanama Hayo bhuchandra panduraha Tasmin bali spriham chakre Nendra ishvara shikshaya Tata Uchai Shrava Nama Hayo Buchandra Panduraha Tasmin Bali Spriham Chakre Nindra Ishvara Shikshaya. Tataha, thereafter, Uchchaishrava Nama, by the name Uchchaishrava, Hayaha, a horse, Abhut, was generated, Chandra Panduraha, being as white as the moon, Tasmin, unto it, Bali, Maharaj Bali, Spriham Chakre, desired to possess, Na, not, Indraha, the king of the demigods, Ishvara Shikshaya, by the previous advice of the Lord. Translation. Thereafter, a horse named Uchchaishrava, which was as white as the moon, was generated. Bali Maharaj desired to possess this horse. Bali Maharaj desired to possess this horse, and Indra, the king of heaven, did not protest. Indra, the king of heaven, did not protest, for he had previously been so advised by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no purport to this, so we'll move on and read text 4. Tata Airavato Nama Varanendro Vinirgataha Dantais Chaturbhi Shvetadre Haran Bhagavato Mahim. As the next result of the churning, the king of elephants named Airavata was generated. This elephant was white, and with its 4 tusks it defied the glories of Kailasha mountain, the glorious abode of Lord Shiva. Text 5. Thereafter, O king, 8 great elephants, which could go in any direction, were generated. They were headed by Airavana. 8 she elephants, headed by Abhramu, were also generated. Purport. The names of the 8 elephants were Airavan, Pundarik, Vaman, Kumud, Anjana, Pushpadanta, Sarvabhauma and Supratik. The purport is just one line with names of elephants. So we'll go further. Okay. If we have to speak on this, then we'll have to speak only on elephants today. Okay. Generated thereafter from the great ocean were the celebrated gems Kaustubhamani and Padmaragamani. Lord Vishnu, to decorate his chest, desired to possess them. Generated next was the Parijata flower, which decorates the celestial planets. O king, as you fulfill the desires of everyone on this planet by fulfilling all ambitions, the Parijata fulfills the desires of everyone. No purport. Text 7. Next there appeared the Apsaras, who are used as prostitutes on the heavenly planets. They were fully decorated with golden ornaments and lockets and were dressed in fine and attractive clothing. The Apsaras move very slowly in an attractive style that bewilders the inhabitants of the heavenly planets. Thank you. Text 8. Then there appeared the goddess of fortune, Rama, who is absolutely dedicated to being enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She appeared like electricity. She appeared like electricity, surpassing the lightning that might illuminate a marble mountain. Purport. Shri means opulence. Shri means opulence. Krishna is the owner of all opulences. Bhuktaram yagyatapasham sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shantim rachati. This peace formula for the world is given in Bhagavad Gita 5.29. When people know that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the most intimate, well-wishing friend of all living entities, when people know this, peace and prosperity will ensue all over the world. When people know this, peace and prosperity will ensue all over the world. Unfortunately, the conditioned souls being placed into illusion by the external energy of the Lord want to fight with one another, and therefore peace is disturbed. The first prerequisite for peace is that all the wealth presented by Shri, the goddess of fortune, be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone should give up his false proprietorship over worldly possessions and offer everything to Krishna. This is the teaching of the Krishna consciousness movement. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Vanchakalpatarobhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Go back to text 3 because, yeah. Tata Uchai Shrava Nama Hayo Chandra Panduraha Tasmin Bali Spriham Chakre Nendra Ishvara Shikshaya. Thereafter a horse named Uchai Shrava, which was as white as the moon, was generated. Bali Maharaj desired to possess this horse, and Indra, the king of heaven, did not protest, for he had previously been so advised by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this chapter is called as Churning of the Milk Ocean. So, because there were not many purports, in fact there was hardly any purport except for that one line describing the names of elephants. So that's why we took so many verses. And we ended on when Lakshmi ji appeared. So we'll talk through that section today. First and foremost was this personality in the process of churning. Who came first? Yesterday Vajaraj Prabhu said, right? Policy? Poison, yeah. Okay. Poison came out first. After that came out Surabhi cow, yeah. So Vajaraj Prabhu was talking about Surabhi cow and the importance of cow protection yesterday. Today, another animal is coming out. Not cow, this time it is horse. So cow represents mode of goodness. Horse is usually associated with, yeah. So this horse is called as Uchchaishrava. So if you see wealthy people, have you seen wealthy people having cows in their house? Or do you think they possess horses? Yeah. So it's a sign, it's very symbolic. Horse is very symbolic. So who is Uchchaishrava? This Uchchaishrava is a 7-headed white horse. Even one-headed white horse is very expensive. You can hardly see white horse. We can see White Horse Road, right? But we cannot see white horses, right? So 7-headed white horse is emerging from the churning of the ocean of milk. This churning of the ocean of milk is a joint exercise by the Asuras and the Devatas. For a change, they are showing some teamwork here for mutual interest, right? So what are they trying to do? What is the objective of this whole churning? What do they want? Everyone is looking for the nectar of immortality. None of them want to die. They want to continue in their bodies forever. Nectar of immortality. Right? So as this churning is happening, various celestial items are getting produced. And today, the production starts with this white horse. How many heads? 7 heads. Called Uchchaishrava. Now, as each and every item was coming out, the Devatas and the Asuras both are claiming, making claims to these items. Like in Albert Park, if there is a house auction, the devotees as well as the Asuras both will bid 1.2 million, 2.2 million, 2.5, like that. So they are all bidding. This is being generated and everyone is having this. It is mine, it is mine. Everyone is trying to have a claim to this. So in this particular auction of Uchchaishrava, who won? The Asuras won. Bali Maharaj. Now why did Bali Maharaj accept Uchchaishrava? Why did he accept Uchchaishrava specifically? When Surabhi cow came, then it went to the Devatas. But when Uchchaishrava came, the Asuras were bidding. Because there are 3 or 4 reasons for this. Some of them are even symbolic in nature. First is the horse represents, it's a symbol of power and wealth. That is what horse represents, right? Again, as I was mentioning before, wealthy people usually own horses. Right? Even in Australia. What is that called as? The Goda race which happens. What is that called? In March or something? Derby, Australian Derby. Right? And there's a holiday also for that, no? Government gives. No? Yeah. So sometimes cars are racing, sometimes horses are racing. So this is a symbol of wealthy people. A poor man cannot own horse. Okay. They have no place to stay in a house itself. So where is the question of space for horse? Right? So therefore, this is a symbol of power and wealth. When you say you own a horse, you automatically respect the opposite person to look at you with big eyes and to respect you. That you are an achiever. You have done something in life. You are successful. And on top of this, Uchchaishrava was not an ordinary horse also. Okay, he was not an ordinary horse. Uchchaishrava was a symbol of royal grandeur, divine beauty, and unimaginable speed. So this was the kind of horse. If Uchchaishrava would have been there, no horse will win here in the Derby. It's like that. 7 head. Nobody will have space to run also. Right? So the idea is Bali Maharaj is now accepting a very powerful possession. It is very symbolic, powerful possession, which will enhance his prestige as well as his power. So we are also like that. We also keep churning and churning. Where is our churning? In Docklands. Right? That is where our churning happens, in CBD area. Some are churning in Swanston Street, some are churning in Collins Street. We are churning in Telstra, NBN. It's a small world. Our ocean is small. We are churning. And we start churning since very early in life. Even the children start churning. early in life. In India, the children start churning from the womb of the mother, right? Sometimes even before the womb of the mother. The parents go. I remember when we bought a house in Mumbai where I never lived, okay, we had big plans to live there. I was even thinking what paint will go, what furniture will go there, right? And then I was kicked out of India. I went on international yatra after that. I never went back to India after that. Okay, so I never lived in that house. But I remember, why did we take that house in that suburb? It was very interesting. So when we went there, someone told me there was a school called Bombay Scottish School there, and it sounded very nice to me. How does that sound? Bombay Scottish School, right? So it sounded very prestigious, and a lot of prestigious people were putting their children in that prestigious school, right? So we went and asked the admission criteria for Bombay Scottish School. So we understood it very elaborately, and then this person asked us at the counter, "Excuse me, how old is your child?" And what was our answer? "The child has not been born yet." And they said, "We have never seen someone like this." Right? Admission to a school, even womb of mother. I thought this phenomenon was only in India, but in Australia also it is there. Someone was telling me to get admission into a college called Scotch College. Have you heard of this? Scotch College is a very prestigious college here. You have to register from the womb of the mother. Then only you get admission. Otherwise you are too late if the child is born, they say. Right? So this is the state of affairs. So it's a sign of prestige and power. God knows whether that's with the Scotch College, what education the child will get. But just saying that my son goes to Scotch College is prestigious. So therefore, these objects enhance our prestige and possession. It is prestigious. It was prestigious at some point in time. I don't know whether it is now. I think every devotee may have realized otherwise. To say that we are living out of India. Where you are living? Yeah, we live in US. Yeah, we live in California. Yeah, it's so polluted, India. They say, the new people who go back to India after 1 year abroad, it's so polluted, like that. Okay, so all this is prestige, living abroad, whatever. And then showing off in Facebook, our newly bought. First, people don't buy house, they buy car, right? And why do we buy a car? Why do we buy a car? How many people know? How many people buy car only because you want to go from one place to the other? Technically, that is the definition of a car. People don't buy car anymore for commuting. For commuting, there are enough cars. There is a $2,000 car also for commuting. Car can come in $1,800 also, which will take you from point to point. But what do we want? We only want Tesla, nothing less than that. Correct. We want automatic seats. When you sit there, it will warm the back, like that. Electric power. So therefore, our needs are no longer necessities. We buy things because we think we are someone. When we start thinking we are somebody, then and we identify with that identity strongly, then all our actions are surrounding that particular identity. So, and this goes on and on. As we get more and more wealth, then the old car which we have, even if it is working very nicely, we change that car. Some people change the car every tax year, right? Correct? Yeah, you buy a car on March, what is it? Not March, June, June last week. And then you sell the car in July first week. And you pocket the difference. And then you buy another car, like that. So, the whole, like Gaur Gopal Prabhu once said, that we live our lives to impress people who we don't like. We live our lives to impress people who we don't like. Okay. Because the people who we like, we don't have to impress them. They already like us. So who are we doing it for? For showing it to someone out there in the world who is already envious of. You are envious of me? Now I'll upgrade my next car to make you more envious of me. And I get pleasure. And when you look at me with envious eyes, in India there was an ad called as Oneida TV. Remember those days? That snake used to come like this on top of the TV. The ad itself was like that. The owner has bought the Oneida TV, and then as soon as they buy the Oneida TV, the glass breaks because someone has thrown a stone from outside. So, out of envy. So that is the quality of the TV. Neighbors envy, owner's pride. Remember this? That was a punchline, the pack shot towards the end of the advertisement. It was not even owner's pride. They didn't say owner's pride, neighbor's envy. That was not the ad. First point was neighbor's envy, then owner's pride. So others envying us is more important to us than our own pride. But never in the ad it was said owner's happiness. It never came there. So the TV is not going to give happiness anyway. It is going to create envy and it is going to give pride. And live with that. That is the kind of low-class happiness which humanity is getting used to. So, this is the nature of asuras. This is asura mentality. Asura mentality is to relish in people envying you all the time and in people fearing you all the time. So, Uchchaishrava is a symbol of power and wealth. And the mode of passion means that the mode of passion, naturally this mentality draws us to such divine treasures which signify our strength and elevate our status within the community. So this is the mood in which the asuras are bidding for Uchchaishrava, the seven-headed white horse. It's a demonstration. Possessing a horse is a demonstration of control and authority. Have you seen anyone sitting on a cow and saying, ha, like that? With a cow, can you do that? No. But with a horse, what happens? Like the people are like this. People are riding like that. See, can you see the whole body posture in the horse? Like that. That is body. What is that? What does that show? It shows that I'm controlling this animal. Sometimes even in the Bollywood movies, even in Hollywood, the first scene, the hero is entering is tada, 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 which means the hero aa gaya. The movie ka hero has come now, right? And then the heroine is struggling there. And then the hero is getting out of the house. 2-3 shots to the villain. And then the heroine is rescued and put on the horse, and then the hero is going into the horizon like that. So this horse is a sign of control and authority. And that again, the desire to control and the desire for authority is which mentality? Asuric mentality. Of course, as devotees, we too may have that, because in Kali Yuga, everything resides within the same person, right? But it depends upon which dog we feed. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said, both dogs sit inside us. In a day and every moment of our life, we make a choice which animal to feed. So, Bali Maharaj's acceptance of Uchchaishrava highlights his dominance even within his community. Right? Even within his community. If 5 devotees are bidding, 1 devotee will get the house, correct? That is dominance within the community. Right? So even within the asuras, he is getting it. Bali Maharaj is claiming it. By claiming such a prestigious gift, he is asserting his leadership and control over his kingdom. Not just amongst the asuras, but even the devatas are looking at this. Oh, Bali Maharaj has got this now. Uchchaishrava. Because even the devatas are not all of them are pure devotees. Right? There are in the devatas also some people are, oh, Bali Maharaj got this. Uchchaishrava. Like that. However, even amongst these asuras, Bali Maharaj was a different breed. Bali Maharaj was still known for not only his valor, but also his piety. Asuras usually are not pious. But even amongst them, Bali Maharaj was a little different. So he was very pious. And this piety eventually earned him the favor of Lord Vishnu. So therefore, acceptance of Uchchaishrava can also be seen as his divine fortune. In that sense, because whatever Bali Maharaj is getting, there is a hand of Lord Vishnu in that, and which we will know later why it happened, when the Vaman Dev pastime happens. Tomorrow is Vaman Dev. Yeah. So, there is an aspect of divine grace and fortune in accepting Uchchaishrava. Also, this churning was a joint event between the demigods as well as the Asuras. And this allocation of treasures between the demigods and Asuras was a way of maintaining a cosmic balance. Because that is, everything is ultimately ordained by the Lord. This whole churning wouldn't have happened if the Lord wouldn't have sanctioned it, right? So it is a way of maintaining a cosmic balance between these two forces, because at the end of the day, Krishna is impartial, right? Of course, there is a sweetness aspect to his partiality, but generally God is impartial. So by taking possession of this celestial horse, Bali Maharaj is contributing to maintaining the equilibrium of power between the Devatas as well as the Asuras during the churning process. Now Bali Maharaj has got this horse. Now whenever someone gets a horse, what happens in Bhagavatam? What happens to Indra? Indra is insecure. Horse mil gaya. This fellow got a horse, right? So Indra is known for his insecurity when someone obtains horses, right? He's got a history of this, right? Now why? Why is horse important? Because of horse they are able to do what is called as Ashwamedha Yajna. It's considered a powerful ritual. And it is performed by the kings to assert their supremacy and power over the others and to seek favor from the gods. So, Indra, even when Prithu Maharaj pastime was there, Indra, they say, he dressed as a sannyasi, and that's when it said that the sannyasi robe went down. The start of the sannyasi robe going down. So, Indra often saw Bali also as a threat. He saw Prithu Maharaj also as a threat, but he also saw Bali as a threat because of the increasing power and influence of Bali Maharaj. So his natural tendency would have been to do something and stop this Uchchaishrava going there. But Prabhupada, in the translation it is written, Indra did not protest. Now there can be two reasons for that. One is simply a Vedic tradition. In the Vedic tradition, there was a policy not to interfere in each other's rituals. That because still Vedic culture, we are talking about a time when Vedic culture was very prevalent. They don't interfere in each other's rituals without a valid reason. Unnecessarily they will not interfere. Right? So, because if they do so, then it is seen as a violation of a cosmic order, and it doesn't behoove a great personality to stoop down to such levels, to interfere with someone else's ritual. Right? So even Indra decided to respect. But there is a bigger reason for this, not just this. Because sometimes Indra himself is vulnerable. He could have said, to hell with Vedic traditions, I want power. And we know Indra's vulnerability, right? But here, Indra knew that this is different. Bali Maharaj getting Uchchaishrava is the divine plan of Lord Vishnu, and that is why he kept quiet. That is why the translation says like that. Because he knew that it was predestined for Bali to get this 7-headed white horse. It was predestined that he will get all sorts of powers. And Bali Maharaj will be taken to a great height, and from there he will be bang, brought down by Vaman Dev. So he knew that Lord Vishnu was orchestrating something. So Indra's non-cooperation was simply his cooperation, Indra's cooperation was simply his alignment with the wishes of the Lord. So Indra chose to respect this and he did not interfere. So that is the first item, if you require, the first element, or we shouldn't say item, horse. The first personality who came out was Uchchaishrava. Next to appear was Airavata. It looks as much as Indra is immediately rewarded for his cooperation with the Lord. After that comes Airavata, right? So, while the grand horse Uchchaishrava went the Asura way, the divine white elephant came to the Devatas. So both are white. Bali got white, Indra also got white. Right? So, Airavata is a very special elephant. As much as Uchchaishrava is a very special horse, Airavata is also a very special elephant. Airavata represents purity, because white is generally associated with purity. So Airavata represents purity, power, strength and royalty. Again, Airavata is not an ordinary elephant, right? Airavata represents royalty as well, because Indra also wants royalty, right? Indra is a Mishri Bhakta, a mixed devotee. The only difference is Indra is pious, whereas most Asuras, except for Bali Maharaj, are not pious. So, immediately, as if Indra is rewarded, he gets his Vahan. He gets his vehicle. Indra's vehicle is Airavata. The chief of the heavenly planets gets his vehicle. And this vehicle of Airavata is again a symbolic of might, victory and protection. So that is what Airavata stands for. It is said that Airavata had multiple tusks, and each tusk represents something. One represents strength, one represents wisdom and the ability to overcome obstacles. And also Airavata signifies the dominance of dharma over adharma. All these things are very symbolic with Airavata. Indra is the god, demigod of the rains, right? So Airavata also is linked with cloud and rain, both of which are essential for maintaining life on earthly planets. Airavata is also considered a Dikpal. Dikpal means that he is the protector of direction. Specifically, Airavata is associated with the eastern direction. So he is the protector of the eastern direction. And Airavata is also associated with new beginnings, enlightenment and knowledge. So therefore, in Indian temples frequently, Airavata is found in architecture and sculpture. So this was the next personality to appear after Uchchaishrava. After Airavata, it is said, who appeared? 8 personalities. Who are these 8 personalities? They were also elephants. After Airavata, 8 other elephants came. These elephants are known as Dikpal elephants, or they are also known as Diggaja. Diggaja. It is said that even His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Thakur's house, they had such a Diggaja, an elephant, right? Gopanesh Prabhu? In Bhaktivedanta Thakur Charitra, they had an elephant in their house. Yeah. I remember somewhere having read this, right? They had some. So, these Diggajas, they are the guardians of the 8 cardinal as well as the intermediate directions. North, east, west and south, then northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. So they are the guardians, Dikpals of these directions. And it is said that each of these elephants stand as boundaries of the universe and support the entire cosmos, ensuring that the world remains balanced and stable. We see some descriptions like this even in Brahma Samhita, in descriptions of Goloka planet, where in the corners there are spears and protecting Golok Vrindavan, like that. So similarly, this is a material world. Of course, Golok Vrindavan doesn't need external protection, but material world definitely does so. So these Diggajas, they are seen as cosmic protectors who prevent the world from collapsing and losing its order. So they are in one sense said to be holding up the universe, these Diggajas. So they ensure that by holding this up, the entire cosmos doesn't fall into a chaotic condition. Again, in Hindu architecture, we see in Hindu temples, we will see quite a bit of imagery of these Diggajas. They are generally found on the base of the pillars in and around these temple structures, symbolizing their role as supporters of the sacred space and protectors of the directions. So now Uchchashrava has come out, then Airavata has come out, and then these 8 other elephants. The names of those elephants are there in the purport, in the translation. No, not in the translation, actually in the purport. Next comes something interesting now, which neither belongs to the Devatas nor to the Asuras. Nobody can touch this. What came out next? The Kaustuba gem. Actually, there are 2 gems which came out. Kaustuba Mani and Padmaraga Mani. These 2 came out. So immediately Lord said, enough. I mean, nobody, it's mine. Right? It's like that auction fellow saying, now we are auctioning this. By the way, I have already bought this house. Auction is over. You may go home. How does that sound? First they advertise the house. Wonderful house. Middle park. See nearby. This nearby. It's sold to me. I have bought. So it almost sounds like that. Then they must be wondering, why did it come out? Vishnu could have actually kept it with himself. But the Lord is taking it out and then keeping it with himself to give a message. So that this Kaustuba gem and certain items only I can possess. Do not lay your eyes on these things. So the Kaustuba gem is a radiant gem that adorns the chest of Lord Vishnu. It is said that it is Kaustuba Mani is the purest of all jewels, and the radiance of the Kaustuba jewel is more than the radiance of the sun as well as the moon. Heat as well as cold. So it's a very divine radiance from the Kaustuba Mani. The Kaustuba Mani also represents inner light and stands for spiritual wealth and wisdom. That is why it's in the chest of Lord Vishnu. Also, it is said that the Kaustuba Mani holds the entire cosmic energy within itself. So it's not an ordinary gem. It is considered as the essence of the universe. And therefore it was neither given to the Devatas nor Asuras, because ultimate control cannot be given to them. Neither of these people. Because the Devatas are Mishri Bhaktas and the Asuras are Asuras. They are themselves. It can't be given. So Lord Vishnu keeps it with himself. Srila Prabhupada says about the Kaustuba gem that the Kaustuba gem represents the glory and beauty of Lord Vishnu and adds to the transcendental opulences of Lord Vishnu. The Kaustuba gem symbolizes the unique position of Lord Vishnu as the protector of the universe and his eternal relationship with all jivas. So therefore, both these manis, and Padmaraga Mani, not much information is there in the Bhagavatam. So except that Padmaraga Mani is a ruby. It's a ruby gem. That's all is, no, there was nothing else that I could at least find. If anyone knows, you can tell us after the class or during the question and answer session. So Kaustuba Mani and Padmaraga Mani, now they have come out. And after that came out what? The famous flower, which is the Parijata flower. The Parijata flower is coming out. This Parijata flower decorates all the celestial planets. Now, this Parijata flower was given to who now? Given to the Devatas. And who took it again? Indra. Indra's associates took it and then they planted it in the garden of Indra so that he can have more and more Parijatas. Who desired it? Satyabhama desired this. When Satyabhama said, I want to have that Parijata. Okay. So Krishna very nicely went and requested Indra. But Indra said, no. He was reluctant. Why he was reluctant? Because the Parijata is symbolic of immortality and bliss. So he wanted to keep it with himself. Now here, why is the fight going on here? For immortality only, no? For this nectar. So Parijata also symbolizes that. So therefore Indra wanted to keep it with himself. So he said no to the Lord, thinking that, by saying that he will become immortal. But obviously it didn't happen. So Lord Krishna, then what happened? He defeated Indra in the battle, and he brought the Parijata flower for? No. He uprooted the entire tree and brought it for Satyabhama. So that is how he taught a lesson to Indra. That when it comes to offering the Lord, we should not hold back. The Lord is explicitly asking you and still you are not giving. This is the height of, and that too a Devata. If an Asura does, we can understand. If a Devata does, it requires extra punishment. Correct, no? If non-devotees do some offense, they can still be pardoned. But if a devotee knowing everything does it, then obviously the devotee should get higher punishment. Right? Right? So therefore, this is willful disobedience of the Lord. Not even your constitutional nature. Correct? This is cold-blooded disobedience. Not hot-blooded disobedience of the Asuras. So therefore, Krishna uprooted the entire tree. And Satyabhama then planted it, and then it began to grow, spreading its divine fragrance throughout Dwarka. This Parijata tree. So this Parijata tree has got, this pastime has got two significance. First one is, like it says, Devanam Achyuto Yatha. In Śrīmad Bhāgavatam it is said, Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga. The highest river is Ganga. Devanam Achyuto Yatha, which means out of all the personalities, Krishna is the most powerful, Achyuta. And then it says Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. And Purananam Idam Tatha. Highest Vaishnava in the material world is Lord Shiva. And highest Purana is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So it said Devanam Achyuto Yatha. So Krishna is now, through this Parijata pastime, Krishna is exercising his control. He says, Indra, whatever powers you have, I have given you. Don't forget it. Don't think you are the CEO. Above the CEO, there is a chairman who can also overthrow you at any point in time. And I am that person. So Krishna is asserting his authority. But more important than that is, this pastime shows that Krishna can go up to any length to please his devotee. So Satyabhama wanted it, and Krishna can go up to any length for satisfying Satyabhama's desire. So that was the next item that came out, the Parijata flower. And finally, which is, after that, there's one more thing. After the Parijata flower came the Apsaras. Who are the three famous Apsaras? Menaka, Urvashi and Ramba. In fact, I remember, because I come from South India, there are a lot of actresses, South Indian actresses who name themselves also like this. Okay? Or they are given name, their name must be something else. But when they join this, what is that? South India, Hollywood, Bollywood or whatever, then they accept these kind of names. Because the name itself then gives a message that I am very beautiful. Ramba. My name is Ramba. My name is Menaka. Like that. Okay. So, Apsaras. Now what is the job of these Apsaras? The Apsaras have got multiple roles. Right? So, most of the time they are bewildering the inhabitants of the heavenly planets as well as the earthly planet, especially the sages. They are the ones who the sages have to be most careful about. Right? So, because these Apsaras, they are known for their ethereal beauty. It is not a beauty of this earth where we live in. It is said, I heard once some devotee telling me that if we cannot see an Apsara also. Because if we see an Apsara, we faint. Even in Bollywood movies we see, when the hero sees the heroine, he faints. Right? So now we are talking about Apsara. So it is said that our eyes cannot see an Apsara. We will faint at that beauty. Right? And when a Gandharva sings, then also we cannot stand, we will faint. Like that. So sometimes we have seen, even when Madhava Prabhu is doing that kirtan here, there is a vibration that is created and we just can't be ourselves. Even a sober person starts jumping up and down. Correct? And dancing even without knowing what is dance. Right? Left leg is going somewhere, right leg is going somewhere, and something is happening there. Right? I remember once when Kadamakaran Maharaj was doing kirtan in a program, suddenly there was a vibration in the room, and the kirtan went to such heights. One person, an elderly gentleman, okay, he's the father of one of our devotees. He crawled on the floor and his legs were up like this at right angles. His face is down, his two legs are up, and then he's doing like this, like a baby. And that's what happened, when Maharaj was singing. He can bring out this kind of emotions can come out, bliss, that You forget everything, who you are, what is your age. So it was very blissful to see that, this happening, right? So, Apsaras, of course, that is very divine what we are talking about. Here still we are talking about material beauty. So, Apsaras are ethereal beauty and they are very adept at dance as well as music. So, they take on the role of celestial entertainers of the Devatas, like that. So, and the other role, as we said, is they are sometimes here to test the resolve of the people who are following yogic systems, different yogic systems to attain the Lord, especially Ashtanga Yoga, this, that, etc. The sages will suddenly get a lot of pride that I have done so much austerity, I have control over my senses. And then what will happen? Chan, 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 chan. And the sage will say, like that, one eye will come out, then other eye, then tongue, mouth will come out. Correct? So that is what will happen, then gone. Right? Have you had this experience as devotees also? Some people are laughing. Right? I'm in bhakti so much, why this attraction is not going away? Right? Welcome to material world. So these Apsaras, they do this kind of, they are there to seduce. Even Arjuna was not spared. Urvashi tried to seduce him. But Arjuna is so powerful, he called her as mother, for which she cursed him. She said, how dare you? Aaj tak koi nahi bulaya mujhe. Like for some time, in Bhakti Vrikshas, if some young lady is coming, especially with that gussy handbag and all that, modern lady, who comes to the Bhakti Vriksha program, yeah, I like spirituality, I'm like exploring, that kind of personality, And then you call her Mataji. She said, what? Mataji? Like that, they don't like, right? So then Urvashi, when she called Mataji, so Arjuna was finished after that. So we be careful who you call Mataji. Don't get cursed to become Brihan Nalla and all. Right? We don't want to come back one more year. Tayya Bali Jaan ka Dushman and all. Right? We don't want to come like that. Correct? So now, talking of these Apsaras, yes, they are celestial beauties. There is no doubt about this. So these sages, we see them succumbing every now and then to the beauty of these Apsaras. But there are 3 instances where this thing has been controlled, each one above the other. The first instance is when Cupid tries to go in front of Lord Shiva and tries to attract Lord Shiva. What happens? How does he respond? Opens his third eye and Cupid is burnt. Gone. Right? That is one way of responding to a damsel. Right? Or Cupid's arrows. Another way, which is even higher, is the way Nar-Narayan Rishi respond. When the damsels are taken to Nar-Narayan Rishi in Badrikashram to attract them, and these damsels are, what is that? They say Kamar Lachka and whatever they say, like that. They are doing that dance like that. Okay, so they are doing all this to attract to spoil the meditation of Nar-Narayan Rishi. Who are we talking about? We are talking about Vishnu, right? Lord himself, right? And the Cupid is also standing there, throwing arrows. And how does Nar-Narayan Rishi respond? He doesn't finish Cupid in that way. He does another technique. What does he do? Nar-Narayan Rishi produces beautiful women who are much more beautiful than the beauties which have been brought by Indra here, right? And then it becomes reverse, okay? Rather than attracting, they were attempting to seduce Nar-Narayan Rishi, but the Devatas themselves find themselves looking at these damsels which Nar-Narayan Rishi has produced, right? And then Nar-Narayan Rishi says, "Tum bhi kya yaad rakhoge? Take these damsels to your planets if you want." So rather than getting seduced, they send with a gift of even more beautiful women. So this is God. This is God. But then personally I find higher than this. Sorry, there's nothing higher than God. But one thing is higher than God. What is higher than God? Aradhananam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param tasmat parataram devim tadiyanam samarchanam. Higher than the Lord is his devotee of the Lord. Who are we talking about? Haridas Thakur. Not only he didn't burn with eyes, he didn't produce anything, but he made her a devotee, changing the consciousness of that person. Right? removing the ghurur. What is that? Ghurur ko kya bolte hain abhi? What do you call that in? Removing the ego. Okay, let's say. Removing the identity, that my identity is that I am a very beautiful woman, capable of seducing anyone. He removed that identity, Haridas Thakur, by the power of the holy name. So this is how different personalities have responded to the same situation. So of course, here we are talking about the Apsaras, Menaka, Urvashi and Ramba. So these Menaka, Urvashi and Ramba, sometimes they act as intermediaries or messengers between the Devatas and the human beings. And therefore, these people also, along with the Diggajas and Airavata and everyone, these people are also represented in sculptures and paintings in the Hindu temples. So there's a lot of culture, you see a lot of these cultural aspects will come in the construction of temples. And finally, who appears after all this? Lord, Goddess Lakshmi ji, the goddess of fortune. Lakshmi herself appears, right? So it will be mentioned later that when Lakshmi ji appears, people forget all these Apsaras. Now their beauty is gone immediately. So it's just imagine the sequence in which this is happening. The Lord is giving a message, right? You may be besotted with all your Apsaras, my dear Indra, but when you see my consort, you will forget everything. Narayan, right? So therefore Lakshmi ji is appearing and everyone's focus is lost on the Apsaras after that. Everyone is looking for Lakshmi and everyone wants her. But Krishna says, no, Kaustubha Muni and Lakshmi are mine. But actually in this case, Krishna is not even doing that. In Kaustubha Muni case, clearly Lord Vishnu took it. In this case, Lord Vishnu is not saying Lakshmi is mine. Lakshmi is saying, I am not any one of yours. It's reverse way, it's happening. Lakshmi ji, Sri means opulence, right? So Lakshmi ji comes out and everyone is waiting. Devatas are waiting, everyone is adoring her. Of course, Devatas have some idea that who is Lakshmi ji, but Asuras are Asuras, right? Ravana also wanted to take Sita for himself, right? But Lakshmi ji, later on it will be known that there is a Swayamvara that is being held. Lord Vishnu is even, I don't know why Lord Vishnu had to do this to Lakshmi ji, to do Swayamvara. But eventually who will Lakshmi ji choose? She says that I saw all these Asuras, I saw all these Devatas, I saw demonic qualities but valor, I saw divine qualities, but still I couldn't find the perfect person for myself. The only perfect person for me is who? Narayana. You, that's all. So she goes and weds Narayana himself. So Prabhupada writes in his purports that Shri means opulence, and everyone wants to attain this opulence in this world. Yesterday in our Bhaktivriksha program also we were discussing yesterday night that people say that we are worshippers of Lakshmi, but nobody wants to worship, actually really nobody wants to worship Lakshmi. They only want to worship her energies. They are not interested in the real wealth which Lakshmi can give, which is Krishna Bhakti. They are interested in material wealth. So Prabhupada is saying, because of this, the peace of this world is lost. Because nobody wants Lakshmi, everyone wants only the external aspect of Lakshmi, which is material wealth and resources that she can provide to enhance our power and position. So Prabhupada says there is no peace in the world. And that's why Prabhupada then writes the Bhagavad Gita verse, Bhoktaram yagyatapasham sarvaloka maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam nyatva mam shamtenuchati. Unless one understands that Lakshmi truly is the property of Lord Krishna, that Lord Krishna is the supreme enjoyer of everything that is to be, unless then one will never attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. So in the ensuing sections, there are a lot of interesting verses where we will see by the appearance of Lakshmi Devi, how that entire atmosphere there changes now, from all these passionate things that are coming out, right? So I'll stop here and I'll ask if there is any questions or comments. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. You told us that Bali Maharaj had taught piety. So you want to tell us what are the piety features of Bali Maharaj doing piety?
So we come to know of Bali Maharaj's piety most when it comes to the appearance of Vamanadev. So we saw that how Bali Maharaj was doing this very powerful yajna, and then how Vamanadev appeared there. And from the conversation with Vamanadev itself, Bali Maharaj's good qualities are seen. Even when Vamanadev, initially he did not know that this is Vishnu. Okay, till others told him that this is Vishnu, right? But, and later on he also had this idea that yes. Sorry? Shukracharya told him, yeah. But even before that, when Vamanadev, even a inconsequential childish Brahmana was coming, from his point of view, before that realization, he could have easily said, okay, this is all you want, you take it. But he wants to give more. He said, why are you asking this? You can ask me something more. So that shows his charitable disposition. So that is how we understand the piety of Bali. But later on, the spiritual surrender of Bali completely eclipses the piety of Bali Maharaj. Because out of the 9 processes of bhakti, Bali Maharaj is known for one of the, and in fact the highest process, which is Atma Nivedanam. Because in Krishna consciousness, we are asked to utilize our resources in the service of Lord Krishna, and we call it as Yukta Vairagya, right? But yes, that our tendency usually, even as devotees, is to utilize our wealth. We can, let's say we earn some money. Again, we none of us, I think, probably can do what Rupa Goswami said. 10% you keep, 90% give away. Nobody is going to do that, right? The government first takes 50% of their share in the Samudra Manthan, right? Government first and claim. Neither Asuras get nor the government takes. Correct? So, whatever is left, if you give, everything we cannot give, right? But Bali Maharaj not only gave all his wealth, but Bali Maharaj surrendered his free will itself to the Lord, which is it's unimaginable, surrendering our free will to the Lord. We have seen only exalted personalities, like for example, Bhaktivedanta Thakur's prayer, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tumhar. So exalted personalities surrender their free will to the Lord. So in one sense, Bali Maharaj, yes, this is an example of his piety, is his charitable disposition, but higher than that is his devotional quality of surrender. Yes, Puji. Today there is no prasadam, no? Today half day fasting, right? So, okay. Not that I'll go long, but I'll ask another few.
Prabhuji, thank you for nice presentation, the discourse. About the churning of milky sea or ocean, milk ocean. So how it started? It was started.
How it was started?
Yeah. So there are different perception on that, because the Vasishtha Muni was giving some garland to Indra, and then Indra, he was a boastful personality, so he just put it on the task of Airavata.
Yes.
And that started this thing.
The Devatas lost all their opulence.
Yeah.
Obviously, Krishna is a protector of the, Paritranaya sadhunam. So obviously, Krishna will protect the Devatas, because at the end of the day, the Devatas, they have material desires, but at least they accept the authority of the Lord. So therefore, obviously, the whole idea was to restore back the wealth to the Devatas. Yes.
So then after that, also Airavata came through the churning, right?
Yes.
Airavata came back.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in the end, the Amrita came, is that? Amrit came.
Yes. Yes.
So that, what does it mean by Amrit? What is the actual?
Amrit is lector of immortality.
Okay.
So the Amrit came, and then obviously, the Asuras wanted to go for it, and then Mohini Murti came, right? And then she very seductively went about, and the Asuras were yours obediently, take it, and then it was given to the Devatas. Yeah.
So the whole process, if I look back from the beginning to the end of churning of the milk ocean, then you can think about other way, like first a halahal came, which destroyed everything. So that's why the Devas and Asuras went to Vishnu, and then Shiva came, and then he took this halahal to his throat. So if I compare these things with the process of our bhakti yoga, or process of our sadhana, or meditation. So when we start our meditation, when we begin our meditation, or when begin to the path of salvation or something, or path of bhakti, so our mind is so distorted. And that is the transient. Say, if you switch on or off an electrical circuit, and you get 3 times the current than normal one. And that can destroy the bulb. So when you turn on the switch, bulb sometimes fused.
Okay.
So the holahol is like that. Holahol is that our disturbed mind, which disturb us more than normal, when we start to do the meditation or chanting. So once holahol, you can protect it holahol by your inner strength, then slowly Lakshmi comes. So there's a quite calm state of mind, but Lakshmi doesn't stay long. So she disappears to Narayan. Then slowly, if you continue this kind of process of your bhakti or process, then slowly you are getting this reward of one by one, all these things. And finally the Amrit, which is the ultimate reality, or you achieve that one. Even in the final stage, that can also be taken away by Asura-like kind of bad virtues within you, maybe either ego or some other things. But if you can get back again to Krishna, then you can get this nectar forever.
Yeah.
So the whole process can be depicted as the process of bhakti yoga, or
Okay. So the whole process is very symbolic of the journey.
It's a quite
of
interesting thing that we
can say that in one
yeah.
sense, yeah.
Thank you.
Some senses,
Yeah.
true. That is the goal of Bhagavatam anyway. So, yeah. Yes. Don't ask me a difficult question. Huh? Gopan and Shobhu, don't leave the room till this question is over.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the nice class. You were talking about envy at the start, and we see in this world it's very competitive, and especially at school where the surrounding is with peer pressure and competitiveness. So how can we get the right attitude to study instead of yielding to envy and improving the efficiency? Do you have any practical tips?
Yeah, the practical tip is to go to corporate life later. If school envy you have seen, you have to see what is the envy that happens in Docklands building. It will detach you from this world. See, they are laughing now. You started working recently? Anyone started working recently will know. And then you lose all your hair by the time you retire. Half the time in office goes in, not in work, but in solving politics. Your mother knows, ask her. Father also knows. Yeah. So sorry. So that is, actually what I said, I actually meant it. I know it might have sounded like an answer in jest, but it is true. Our envy will only go up when we get beaten up in life. There are two things. There is a carrot and the stick. The carrot is the holy name, which has the power to bring transformation within our consciousness. But the problem is, Lord has given us this AK-47 rifle of the holy name, but we are not using it properly. That's the problem. So because when we don't chant the holy names in a prayerful mood, usually, at least I don't do that. Okay, I don't, maybe others are doing it, but that is our problem, because we don't take it seriously. So therefore we are not really deriving the full benefit that the holy name can provide. Otherwise just chanting is enough. There is nothing else external that is required to overcome envy. What is chanting? Agham dhunvanti karsanyena niharam eva bhaskara. It can uproot the weeds of sinful action itself, not just sinful reaction. What is the weed of sinful action? Envy. Right? So it uproots that. Holy name has that power to remove that. But because we don't chant that attentively. Therefore what happens in the life cycle of a devotee, because we are not chanting attentively, but we are chanting, so what's happening? We are getting purified, but we are getting purified very gradually. But because we are getting purified gradually, it doesn't mean Maya is reducing. Maya is still 9.8 meters per second square, like gravity. It is still acting on us all the time. Correct. So therefore, what will happen? Our graph usually in devotional life is, it's up. As we continue ourselves in the fire of devotional life, the line graph will go up only. But within that up, it will be going like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. That's how our graph is, right? So that is because of that inattentive chanting. Because those moments when we take our eyes off from Krishna, those are the moments then we succumb to lower tastes. So that is that envy. So therefore, and what happens when we succumb to those lower tastes, because we are devotees, Krishna gives us personal slaps, right? And this personal slaps is very, I use the word personal because the slap that is given to every devotee is highly customized. Bespoke solution. Highly, it's not a standard, ERP application, standard Microsoft, patch which is put. No, it is customized for every rascal in this world. Because Krishna knows the deepest anarthas. When we get into bhakti, we receive a lot of glorification from the outside world. Kya Prabhuji, kya ho gaya? Kya Bhagavatam? What? No onion, no garlic? What? All these things. And then, then you start preaching, then people will say Shiksha Guru, this, that, everybody will start glorifying and all that. But deep inside, every rascal knows what are his attractions, what is the nonsense that is going on inside the heart, right? It's like someone said, when chanting, if someone takes a wire and puts us on television, nobody will speak to anyone. Correct. So therefore, Krishna knows that as Paramatma within the heart. So as we continue chanting the holy name, Krishna will customize the tests which he wants to give to each and every devotee. Because he knows exactly where to hit this devotee so that that anartha can be removed. Right? So our life, once we come into Krishna consciousness, it is said that when you come into Krishna consciousness, the chanting is so powerful that your aprarabdha goes away, your bijam goes away, your kutam goes away, everything goes away. The seeds and all go away. But Krishna personally retains some of the prarabdha. He keeps it with himself and he administers it to you in a very customized way so that you, at the end of this lifetime, we completely lose taste for coming back into this material world, except for one purpose, for the purpose of Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale, for the purpose, unless for purpose of coming into this world. So, life itself will teach us lessons and make our envy go away. So be 100% assured about this one fact. Life will teach us, because Krishna will orchestrate our life in that direction.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. The question was how to overcome envy, something like that. How to overcome envy, because she has seen envy in schools. Overcome, not welcome envy. Yeah. Envy need not be welcome. It will come even without welcoming. Muft mein aayega. Free of cost it comes. Uninvited guest. Neki aur pooch. Yes, sure, why not? Envy will say. Okay, anything else? Okay, Granthat Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ekadashi Mahotsav ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Just quickly a question. In Bhagavad Gita, it's mentioned Ucheshrava. Lord says, Anashavasam Ucheshrava, right?
Yeah.
So how do we understand this?
We have to understand why Lord is saying that. The chapter is called as Krishna's opulence. No? Here, behold my mystic opulence. अपना opulence बता रहे हैं ना. Krishna is telling that जो भी सुंदर object तुमको जिंदगी में दिख रहा है, उसकी सुंदरता का कारण मैं ही हूँ. That is why he is saying that. Yeah, yeah. Now that object may be possessed by asuras or by devatas. That's a different issue. But the origin is me. Understand that wherever there is splendor, it is an aspect of me. That's what he's trying to tell.
It was written in translation that Apsaras were the prostitutes of heavenly planets. So why would prostitute go to devatas, as they're the devotees, right? Saintly person. Why didn't go to the demons?
1 minute.
Vandeham.
Okay, I'll just finish.
Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Dasamati Nandana Brajabhadanagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Ramati Nandana Brajabhadanagara Gokula Ranjana Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Magana Manahara Kaliya Damana Vidhanam Gopi Paranadhana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damana Vidhanam Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gopi Pranadhana Shiparanadhana Madana Manahara Kaliya Damana Vidhanam Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Amara Harinam Amya Vilasa Nabina Nagara Mara Monkey Magana Suvata Amara Harina Amya Vilasa Vikina Purandara Nabina Nagara Bara Monkey Magana Suvata Dasamati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana